Round 1. Fight!
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, subscribers, unsubscribers, or just random viewers. My name is Valekren, and welcome to another episode of Fight, where I create an episode of a certain topic I find myself to disdain or address with utter concern or correction. It's unfortunate that I have to make this episode, because I was just done, almost a month ago, saying that the gaming community seemed to me that it was slowly ascending from the scum and villainy that was plaguing the land for years. However, that's unfortunately not the situation here. I suppose it's gotten worse, and it's going to get worse sooner on, but I won't bet my money on that just yet. Now, before we dive into the dubious situation that Monolith got themselves into, I'll make this brief history segment on Monolith in case anyone doesn't really remember them all that well or doesn't know who they are at all. The lifespan of Monolith is actually pretty long. Matter of fact, Monolith Productions was founded in October of 1994 in Kirkland, Washington of the USA. Brian Goebel, I'm sure that's how his last name is pronounced, accompanied by Jason Hall, is one of the many co-founders of the company. The first game Monolith Productions produced was quote-unquote Blood in 1997. Monolith later was releasing several games from different genres. Then, though, you have the meat and bone of Monolith Productions, launching beloved franchises like No One Lives Forever, Fear, Condemned, etc. Monolith Productions, though, was acquired by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment Incorporation in 2004, further spawning the Fear and Condemned series, then licensed games such as Gotham City Imposters, Guardians of Middle-earth, and Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Now that you at least understand a brief backstory of Monolith Productions, let's venture forth into their predicament with the gaming community just recently. The microtransactions featured in Shadow of War are as basic as they come. Players are able to purchase loot chests, war chests, XP boosts, and bundles. Here's what these options have to offer. Loot chests will, quote, contain gear, weapons, and armor of varying rarity. Equipping and upgrading these weapons and armor enhance Talion's character abilities. Loot chests can also contain XP boosts that level up Talion faster, unquote. Now, war chests will, quote, provide orc followers of varying rarity to help forge a strong army. They can also contain training orders to level up and customize orc followers, unquote. XP boosts, quote, are consumables that help level up Talion faster, unquote. And finally, bundles will, quote, package up loot chests, war chests, and boosts together at a great value, unquote. Now, these microtransactions are located at the market. It is worth noting, though, that in order to even get to the market, you have to have an internet connection, just for those out there that are a little curious on this. Now, of course, Monolith Productions has stated that there is a way to acquire these loot chests, war chests, etc. by spending an in-game currency called Myrian, or Myrian, however wish you want to pronounce it. You acquire, I'm just going to pronounce it Myrian. You acquire Myrian in the game by eliminating certain orcs, which I'm going to assume are warlord and or boss types, destroying gear, destroying orc followers for gear, which can also be destroyed for more Myrian, or just by finding Myrian stashes in the game. Now, I'm going to go and make the bet that earning Myrian in Shadow of War is going to take some time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. What I mean, however, is when the game makes it purposefully difficult to acquire Myrian because there is another alternative to receiving these microtransactions, and that is where gold steps in. Gold is, and I quote, Shadow of War's other in-game currency, which can be acquired by spending real money. Participating in community challenges and completing specific milestones will earn you gold as well. Now, right off the bat, I know for certain that if Myrian won't be that hard to earn in a way that drives the player to have the desire to earn, which in other words means that I would be wrong to say that Myrian will be overall a grind to acquire, then there is no doubt in my mind, and yours for sure, that gold will be a grind, because who knows how many community challenges in total Monolith will give us annually, or let alone monthly in the game, or how repetitive the milestones themselves will be shown and done. We should also consider an account if the gold that you and I earn in Shadow of War by completing these community challenges and specific milestones are going to remain at a fixed amount depending on the challenge or milestone itself, or will it become a varied amount of gold, which means that it will be pretty much randomized. Also, what the fuck do they mean by specific milestones? I kinda wish they'd fill us in on what that really means, or they I mean, are they talking about simple challenges like how long of a distance you ran or how many orcs you've killed? I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't know what they're talking about when they say specific milestones. However, back to the gold that Monolith dearly loves. I've done some more reading, and you can essentially earn the types of orcs and weapons and so on that you'd normally buy with gold in the game itself later on. I commend that, yes, but I'm not going to just raise a white flag and yell, "Oh, well, they got me. I guess I'll just stop here and end. I guess I'll just stop here and end the episode. There's no point. See you guys later. Valekren out. Peace." No. Because earning these orcs and other things in the game for free is going to be randomized, RNG formed, so to speak. So if there is some type of orc you want to acquire, well, either pay real money to get lucky with getting it, or keep grinding in the game until you get it. So on top of that, gold is going to be earned in a quote-unquote small amount. So that's just fantastic. That completely reinforces my prediction that gold is going to be an absolute grind to get. Like, basically, free mobile game grind. Moving on. So recently, in light of Shadow of War's popularity growing, Monolith launched an asset in Shadow of Mordor where they added in a Nemesis System. So basically what this Nemesis System does is that it imports your enemies and allies from Shadow of Mordor to Shadow of War. I really have nothing bad to say about this. I fully support games that let you import your character or do something similar to this, so long as it's executed pretty well. So I really appreciate Monolith Productions going with this. I'm sure that it'll increase the immersion of your story and make your gameplay that much more interesting. I'm sure many loyal fans of Shadow of Mordor are going to greatly enjoy and appreciate this feature being added. And to be fair with you, I haven't really had the time to play Shadow of Mordor on my PC, but I'll be getting around it soon, which explains why I don't have any gameplay showing of the game, because I frankly suck orc dick at the game. Sorry folks, but I mean, at least I bothered adding some Fear gameplay, which is a great series from Monolith that I've played for years. Definitely recommend it. Anyways, we're moving on. Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells. So Social Conquest is going to be a fortress defense and defense type multiplayer. Totally fine with this, though I really don't know which group of people asked for this, but to each their own. Social Conquest is going to operate in the same way that Metal Gear Solid 5's forward operating base multiplayer will. After killing off all the orcs at a certain fortress, you gain full control over it, gaining the capabilities of upgrading your fortress by applying your orc captains to it and purchasing upgrades to make the fort more difficult to capture. Now, here's the interesting bit with this, and I quote, "After customizing it to your satisfaction, you can then share your fortress online. This allows other players to then attack it, attempting to kill your followers and capture the base. The mode has two variations. Friendly Conquest, which allows the attacker to retain all of their followers after combat, and Ranked Conquest, which let you rise a leaderboard with each successful conquest, but at the risk of permanently losing followers." So the keywords here are can, Friendly Conquest, and Ranked Conquest. Now, first we start with can. I'm going to really hope that this whole multiplayer component will just be optional and not something forced. I'm going to bet that it's going to be optional, but we'll see. Because making this type of multiplayer optional or forced is going to dictate life or death of your multiplayer. Some people just really don't want to play the multiplayer forced. They don't want to play, they did not get Shadow of War, to play multiplayer. They played it mainly to get the single player. There's that divide, right? So you have to really make your multiplayer optional, or people are really not going to like the game overall. Now, with Friendly Conquest and Ranked Conquest, basically think of these as casual for Friendly Conquest and competitive for Ranked Conquest. I'm completely fine with this, and I hope to see the multiplayer strive in success. That is, if it's optional, of course. After capturing a player's fortress, you'll receive a loot chest and a quote-unquote spoils of war, which can then be redeemed for spoils of war chests, whatever that means. I guess spoil of war chests is like basically the lower tier of war chests that you can't really acquire through the market, but I'm not sure. Anywho, completely fine with this multiplayer component. Let's move on. Okay, so I understand I'm a little late to the party with this controversy, but I frankly don't care. I believe it would be a great follow-up to my last fight episode. I wanted to make an unbiased look at this from my view and basically state what both sides of the coin for this game thus far had to offer. I wasn't going to ramble for 10 minutes on how much I hate microtransactions. You already know my deal with them. I don't need to even go through it. And also because I like Monolith, two series that I've played and enjoyed, being the Condemned and Fear series. So either way, I felt obliged to make this. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fight, and I will see you in the next video. Valekren out.